Hi there. Okay, it is Tuesday, the 17th of December, and the time is 8:37 p.m. And I promised Gabriel that I'd make a video for the children. We've got just 8 days to go until Christmas time, and he'd like to have a Christmas party and treat the children to some clothing. So I said I'd make a video. I've already contributed over at the GoFundMe, but again I said I'd just put it out there to all of you who are able to help make a Merry Christmas for Gabriel's children. And I've been going through his Facebook page. We'll go over there in a minute to bring you up to date. Daniel was able to send a collection of second-hand Bibles, and after a struggle of weeks, they finally got through to Gabriel, and he was delighted to take them to church, etc. So we'll go and have a look at that. And personally, looking at Gabriel's reporting on life as he experiences it in Uganda, totally oblivious to what is occurring throughout the Middle East or the USA or anywhere else in the West. It's refreshing and delightful, the innocence from which Gabriel does the work for his Lord and reports the innocence untouched from the insanity of what is occurring around the world at this point in time. And as you know, everything is unraveling. We have been warned, and timelines collapsing. I've been occupied these last few weeks. Wow, information coming from Yah, unbelievable information, and then me acting on that information, and culminating in the crossroads meeting point being the cross in our backyard on Monday the 9th of December. 4 of us, which is actually my painting that hangs in the living room called Heaven's Gate, and I painted that in 2005 as one of the paintings, a series that I did in my journey to find Yah. But I won't go there now. We're going to go over and have a look at Gabriel, bring you up to date. I'll upload this video, and then I'm going to talk about drones. Right, let's find his Facebook page. Here it is. Okay, so this was December the 13th, 4 days ago. Christians, hello friends. Today is a beautiful morning after a great night of victory. Me and my friend Daniel have been through a battle which has been won yesterday night. He has collected Bibles for over a year, and he wished to spread the gospel. Remember, we are disciples of our Lord Jesus Christ. The only duty we have most as a disciple is to spread the gospel. He collected Bibles, and finally today they reached me after a lot of struggle from collecting them to the customs in Uganda. Brother Daniel Bogus used UPS, but I found it very stressful. We had to pay the taxes at the customs. It only took 10 days from the Netherlands to Uganda, but took over 20 days just to be cleared. This is so painful. I had reached a point of giving up, but still had faith that they will come. You could ask yourself, why would he spend a lot of money to send just mere Bibles? What do you think? Because we love what, want, and we can do what it takes to at least spread the gospel, because it's a great job that as a, I'm assuming that word is supposed to be disciple, should do. Yes, a great job that a disciple should do. In our chats with Daniel, his happiness was to see these Bibles being given to believers in, all right, have and can't afford a Bible, and we shall see this on Sunday while we shall be giving them out in church. So let's just scroll through. If I can get this to move down. Oh, here we go. So this is Daniel with his heart face there. The box that he packed off and sent. Now, I know how expensive this is. I sent just a very small parcel of calcium hypochlorite to Gabriel, and it cost me 79 Australian dollars, and it was less than, it was about 500 grams. So this box has, yeah, it's taken a lot to gather them and then to send them. So let's see what these, oh, here we go. Well done, Daniel. Okay, now let's close this one out and go to church Sunday night. Gabriel's church, where they were given out.
Okay.
Amazing. Well done, both of you. So let's oh, there's Gabriel.
Kusindika Bible zinalimaze wa miezi kandi kuidamu just kutukawa. So wembanga mulindi gemamu tujeme no way genzamu like Amina. Amen. So nenda kwebaza pastor okunsemeza ku church ekyo kintu kyamakuwini era nkyebaza Katonda.
Awesome. So now let me see if it has kicked in yet. I have already sent over not yet. There's yes, I made another donation just a few minutes ago before recording. I'll put the link in the description box as usual, and I thank all of you for always coming to Gabriel's aid and support for the children. And yes, I'm trusting that you're all living as best you can in love, joy, and laughter, for it truly is the antidote. And I'll just show you. Now, I had no idea that a male bee is actually called a drone. And Tammy, when I met up with her on Sunday, Chuka spent 5 days with us, and I drove him home on Sunday and met Tammy along the way, and at the coffee shop, which was also a gift store. She bought this for me, a bee. Oh, look, I may as well get into it now. I was going to make another video. All right, what's with the bees? Again, remember, a male bee is called a drone. On my journey to finding Yah, I lived at the time, so this is between 2004, between July 2004 and March 2008. That was the period of time I was back in Australia after being away for 14 years rather. And I had started to look for Yah on the earth from about, I think it was 1999. And the script was being written. I was in my mother's apartment, working, but living in her apartment, which was in Balmain. And my sister had a property at Braidwood. And then my mother also bought a house, and my daughter was already living, but my mother went to live permanently in Bowral, while my other sister and her husband at the time had purchased a farm at Bathurst, all in New South Wales. So, me following the Blues Clues, that's how I found Yah, following the clues. I remember standing in my mother's Balmain apartment and just thinking about all these bees in the family. And I said, what's with the bees? Lord, what's with the bees? Right, that was then. Earlier this year, I got an email from the mother of our young dreamer, and she told me she got home on the Sunday, and between her bedroom and her ensuite there were bees, like 4 of them, bees. And she said she has an allergy to bees, and so she was afraid. So with that, she tracked them down and she killed them all. And then she said she spent the rest of the afternoon apologizing to Yah for killing the bees. But she's writing to me and saying, what's with the bees? Why would the bees be? So I wrote back to her and told her the story in my journey of finding Yah. I said that, what's with the bees? Bee, 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 bee. When I found Yah, his email address just happened to be BB, so 4 B's, at pacific.net.au. So I said, that's what's with the bees. Also in my journey finding Yah, one of the clues, and this was from, because I lived in BC, Canada as well. The last 8 years that I was in North America were back in Richmond, outside of Vancouver, in British Columbia, Canada. And in my mind, in searching for Yah, I always, from BC, before Christ, and I always thought of Australia as AD, AUD, Australian dollar, but AD, from BC to AD. Okay, now one of the clues that I was given was that 414 opens the door to the doctor's office. It would just be a riddle and a rhyme that would come to me. The other one was 999. The rhyme would be on time. And about the three, there's 3 threes. Which one will it be? 333. Which one will it be? Anyway. Where am I going with this? Oh yes, 414 opens the door to the doctor's office. So that was always in so all right, okay. Not only was Yah's email address bbb@pacific.net.au, his phone number, Australian mobiles begin with 04. So Yah's phone number was 0414 272729. And his nickname was Doc. You've heard the story, he's told it before. He would be called Doc. So, on my latest road trip, let me see what, the first was, that's right, I was away because my aunt, 94 years of age, had passed. She went in the best circumstances, having a cup of tea on her front deck, overlooking the mighty Clarence River because she lived on the Clarence River, waving to her son-in-law with her beloved daughter beside her. And she stood up and then she was gone. Now, Yah had met her once, and that was in February 2021, and he liked her. That was my Auntie Jean. Yah liked her. So I was not concerned at all for Auntie Jean, though she was in no way religious. It actually made her nervous. I think the only time she'd been in a church was at her own wedding and her daughter's wedding. But a very good and beloved woman, a friend to all. So at Auntie Jean's memorial, it was a gathering of cousins that I haven't seen for decades. And a series of events. It was clue hunting, following the clues, following Yah's instructions to me. There were 3 nights concerning my aunt's memorial before I headed back via going to a concert to see Australian icons, rockers, now 77 years of age and 80 years of age, in Brian Cadd and Glenn Shorrock, who is the lead to the Little River Band. And Yah uses everybody to give me clues. He had given me on the 1st of October a couple of clues in a very personal message to me. And those clues were spoken by Glenn Shorrock of Little River Band on the concert stage as I was there watching this 3 hours of marvellous Australian music. And I didn't realise what all the great music that they were responsible for. However, that was on the Saturday night, the 16th, and then I had organised 3 nights at Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast, and I knew I had to organise another 3 nights somewhere else, which I did. However, because of a meeting with a friend, she told me about this marvellous cafe in Surfers Paradise that is called Bumbles, after the bees. So, of course, I go, hello, tell me about it, what's the address? I found the address and I arranged to meet her there with her husband the next morning at 10 a.m. Well, I got there first and there was a notice on the door saying that the trading hours had changed and they were closed on this day, being a Tuesday. They would reopen Wednesday. So I waited for my friends and then we all went to a different cafe. But I went back there on Thursday, the 28th of November. And, sorry, not the 28th, it was by this time, let me think, 18th, 19th, I was there for the 21st, Thursday the 21st. And that was a very significant day in Yah's life. It was actually the 38th anniversary of Yah's son Jamie being born dead. And you know the story. He held Jamie in his arms for 3 days and said, "Don't worry, I will get you back." So, knowing it was a really significant anniversary for Yah, I was there at Bumble's, this marvellous cafe, fresh flowers everywhere, bees everywhere, bumblebees. It was just a glorious environment to be in. Well, I ended up being at Bumble's 4 times within 7 days. I knew I was coming back to the Gold Coast. Once I got home, I would return with all of Yah's work to have his work transferred onto a file that would be readable. So I took all of his work back and dropped it off to be transferred. And again, I was at Bumble's twice on the second trip. Twice on the first trip and twice on the second trip. What's with the bees? Well, Bumble's just happened to be at Bud's Beach. Bumble's at Bud's Beach. And of course, within walking distance was the Pacific Ocean. BBBB at pacific.net.au. However, throughout that trip, the clues just came rolling in. And when I returned on my second trip to the Gold Coast, I walked through what I was shown. Call it the intercession. And as I do these things through faith, we were told last year that it speeds things up by putting action to the faith in these things that we are shown to do. It speeds things up tenfold. So that was, I was back at Bud's Beach on the 28th again, and then the meeting point at the crossroads was a place that Yara and I had been to in 2020 on the Gold Coast. And then more came of it as I was steered to call in and see Chuka on that trip home. I wasn't going to, I had not planned to, I was just driving straight home. Well, try as I might, I ended up in the wrong lane every time until I ended up at Chuka's door. Okay, and it's just as well I did that, because the information that came from Chuka, and then Yah showed me what to do with it when I got home, and it led to the point of intercession where Heaven's Gate, which is in my mind, was 4 carbon vessels, meaning 4 human beings, and the movement throughout eternity toward the center of all eternity is the cross. And then there is the reflection. That's the, so you've got the earthly vessel and then the reflection, our spiritual selves. So 4 vessels moving throughout eternity toward the center of all eternity. The crossroads meeting point. So that was accomplished on the 9th of December. And since then, Yah's been showing me other things and speeding up and all kinds of things going on. But yes, so you all do know that Yah has a sense of humour. So with all of these sightings of drones all around the planet, a male bee, yeah, love, joy, and laughter as the timelines collapse on each other. Yeah, taking care of business. All right, with that, I'll say good night, and please, whatever you're able to do, let's make this a happy Christmas for the innocent Gabriel and the children of Uganda, who are completely oblivious to the insanity that is prevailing outside of their world.